Well, as long as we're off of Christmas, maybe talk about the trip that we took where we left Jimmy at the rest area.
Oh, well,
That was up Uncle Ed's.
Yep.
My brothers.
That was Uncle Ed's?
Yeah, we're going up to Ed's, right?
no, we're coming back from
Coming
Ed's.
back.
Yeah, we're going south. We're coming back from Ed's, and we stopped at a rest stop, and everybody went in. And we came out, and we got in the van, and away we went.
We had Grandma with us, my mother with us, I think, didn't we?
I don't know, I don't remember whether she was on that trip.
And the cat, we had the 2 dogs and at least 1 cat.
Mhm.
Yeah, at least. That was when you smuggled Misty home.
So the cat, yeah, but didn't a cat's broken leg happen in that same trip?
No, the broken leg was at home.
No, somebody's leg got slammed in the door on one of those trips.
Not on that trip. The
What
only
was-
thing that happened on that trip was we forgot Jimmy.
So my recollection is, we said, Mom, Jimmy's not in the car, and you said, yeah, right, stop causing trouble or something. Goes, no, Mom, Jimmy's not in the car. Something like that. And so,
And he wasn't.
No.
And when we went back, he was still in the same stall waiting for someone to find him.
Right, that was Jimmy. He couldn't open the door, so wait for someone to come rescue me.
Yeah.
I remember that in the Fagan family van we would have a big Kool-Aid jug or something, like that would be sitting in the front. And then it was kind of chaos getting back in, and so maybe you did a count off, Jimmy's not here, yes he is, but it would be hard to, hard to really see if Jimmy was there with all the stuff that was going on. And we could have easily been hiding him with everything that was going on back there. So, but there was some time when we were it seems to me, on the way to Turkey Run or something, that the cat's leg got slammed in the door, one of the cats.
Maybe that was the first trip we went to hitch on the trailer.
I don't remember
Jimmy
that because
fell off
the
there.
cat would have had to be treated.
Because in my mind, that all happened in one trip, that Jimmy got left at the rest area, there was all this chaos getting in, the cat got slammed in the door.
Mm-mm. No.
One of the ones at Turkey Run, you remember you found 4 or 5 kittens? By
Yes, we brought him to the ranger.
the ranger stand.
I remember Ronnie and Jimmy playing Luke and Laura at the pool, and someone being concerned that they were really fighting. They would watch those soap operas like any old lady would watch a soap opera, and they were punching each other, playing Luke and Laura, or whatever, Luke and Scotty, whoever would fight, and into the pool, and I think the guard came over to get you. They were just So any other stories? How much time do we have on your tape?
Oh,
Okay. Any other stories you want to tell?
What other
Well,
stories?
they have to say, but those years with you kids was really an eye opener. Right now it's fun, but boy, the heartburn we got from you kids was something else.
From what?
When we would come home, or, we would take turns and we'd go to the emergency room.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Inevitably, somebody would break something or cut something or some damn thing. And we'd say, well, your turn, you would go, because we're on a first name basis with them. And we'd get them, stop the bleeding, get them in the car, and almost get to the hospital, then we'd take the bandage off and let them bleed again, so we'd get in the emergency room quick, because it'd be bleeding all over their floor. Instead of just sitting there. If you were sitting there and you weren't bleeding, they wouldn't do anything for you. You'd sit and wait. So the hell with that. Get them bleeding again, get in and get it stitched or whatever.
One day, Mary Edwards was at the house. This was after she had moved to Indiana. And one of the kids came running and said, Michael is hurt, Michael is hurt. So we go out the front door and we look down the street, and here is this body on the ground. 3 or 4 houses down, and all red face, total red face. And I thought, oh my God. Well, that Italian lady that lived in that house had put a red cloth on his face. And of course, from the distance that we were, it looked like blood,
That was on the way to the park.
Yeah. And so anyhow, that was the night, and in front of Mary, we were arguing about who had to take him, and she said, well, don't you both want to go? And we said, no.
what about, so Joanne brought this up at your anniversary about the Evel Knievel and Francis.
Oh,
Okay.
all right, pre-cell phone days, and your dad and I had gone away for a weekend, and Joanne Stosley Buchmeyer and Tom Gallagher stayed at the house to take care of you. And for whatever reason, Francis created a ramp and was able to go off of it, but at one point he fell and broke his arm. Well, of course, these kids had no way of getting a hold of us, you know, and we did get home in due time, but in the meantime, they had taken Fran to the emergency room, and of course he couldn't be treated. It was the only time we ever went away that I forgot to leave, so-and-so has permission to have this child treated. The only time I ever forgot it. And of course he needed it. So when we came home, he was in a sling, and then we had to take him and have his arm done and so on and so forth. Another time, a nurse that I worked with from Michael Reese
Okay.
came out to to take care of the kids. And your father adored her. She was tiny and cute and, you know, very vivacious and what have you. And I think we only went away overnight. I don't
Right.
think, you know, I think we went on Saturday and came back on Sunday. So as we drive in, you know, you check out of a hotel at what, 11 o'clock in the morning or noon. And of course we hadn't gone far. We were right within, you know, practically the neighborhood. And as we drove in, she was sitting on a chair in front of the garage with her, you know, like this, with her suitcase at her feet, waiting. And I never heard from her again.
Totally zoned.
I remember one time, for some reason, Grandma Child actually stayed at the house, and I was probably in about 8th grade.
The only time.
And I had gone to the movies, so this would probably be my first official date with Jim Schreiber to see some movie. And Nancy Kelleher was there, she was with somebody else on the date. And we came home, and I remember Grandma coming into the bedroom or something, and she didn't have her wig on, and I was scared to death. I don't think I'd ever seen her without a wig. Or I don't know how that was, but so I don't know, when did she lose her hair?
Her hair, with each pregnancy, my mother's hair became worse, and that's not uncommon, I guess, with women. And she had very, very fine hair. And so she wore wigs for as long as I can remember. In fact, when before she died, when she stopped wearing wigs and she had gray hair, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like it was when she was younger. It had, you know, it had thickened up a little bit, not much. But, no, she stayed with you. Your father and I made what was then called, and I don't know if they still have, a marriage encounter weekend, where you go away, you're sequestered, and it's all about good marriages and communication and of course religion, because this was a Catholic sponsored deal, you know. So my mother came to stay, probably only because that's what it was.
Probably.
And I can remember walking out of the house, and she was there like this. She had this most terrified look on her face because she was going to be left with 5 children. I don't know how many dogs we had at the time, you know, and what have you. And I think she was actually frightened.
Scared to death, no
Yeah.
doubt about it.